everybody, welcome to The Faction. You already know who we are, so we're going to get right into it. First up, let's talk about Jericho being funny as hell on Raw and how it started out. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was interesting. I flipped on the TV and I'm like, what is going on? It was weird too because it looked mistimed because Ambrose is walking out while everybody's hanging out on top of the ladders already, as Raw started. But
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, every week I love him more and more. With everything he's been doing, it's just awesome. I think I wish Raw started that way every week. Everybody on top of ladders yelling at each other and calling each other names. I thought that was awesome. It was really cool.
That kind of stuff reminds me of what we've all been wanting this whole time, which is Attitude Era. Some of the skits back then were really stupid, but when I think back to The Rock and Stone Cold, very rarely.
It was way more entertaining.
Yeah, I never really think about their match.
Yeah.
I never really think about who The Rock faced at, Night of Champions or King of the Ring. I don't remember that stuff, but the things he used to say to Mankind and Kane and all those guys, that's what I remember. So this kind of stuff I think is cool. It's much needed.
Mm-hmm. And talk about what he said up there when he's talking about how he had won a ladder match one time or a Money in the Bank contract. I can't remember what he said, but
The first one or the sixth one?
Yeah. I won the first one in
Applegate.
Or the sixth one, Applegate, Maryland.
I love when Ambrose told him how stupid he looked with his legs crossed.
Yeah. There's already tons of memes out there like this. He's sitting on a unicorn, and it's good stuff.
Oh, it was.
I was really at the point to where I didn't think Jericho would amount to much anymore. But he's proven me wrong, man, and I'm glad. I hope he stays all the way till next year.
It's kind of like a new side of him that we're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's finally kind of, they always talk about reinventing yourself, and that's what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I think that's awesome that he's doing that.
Yeah.
And I love how he runs with things, like the internet memes. He takes that and goes with like the stupid idiot.
Yeah.
That week that the stupid idiot memes blew up, he specifically said it the next time. That is how you get over to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's
probably because he has a lot more creative control than a lot of the other superstars.
Very true.
So he can
and
get
some of
away
that
with
stuff kind of felt candid right on the spot.
Yeah.
Speaking of on the spot promo, which we'll get into, I'm sure, later, but you gotta say it, freaking AJ Styles and Cena, man.
Yeah.
That's
here.
That's how you got.
Let's go ahead and talk about it.
So let's talk about it.
It's awesome.
It was awesome. It felt like old school wrestling again.
Cena's always, I think, arguably Cena's probably in the top 2 of someone that can cut a promo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's
got
heart, you believe it, when he says it. Besides Bray Wyatt, which, I told you guys I went to that Raw that one night, and Bray Wyatt almost had me brainwashed to hate John Cena. He did so good. Then I told Joey that night, I said, I'm really believing what he's saying over here, kind of thing. But that's the thing about Cena, too. Cena makes you believe it. So even if you, absolutely love the other guy, you feel bad for Cena, or, vice versa. But AJ calling him out last night and saying that you bury guys that people's been saying on the internet, oh, man, even seeing his face was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
This is going to be good right here. So
it reminds me, it might be another one of those The Rock, Cena kind of deals where they start shooting off at the hip and it starts getting a little personal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they'll take it to the extreme that, The Rock did, but as far as it getting personal, I think it'll be a little bit personal, and they'll start getting angry at each other.
AJ's more professional than The Rock was at that point when he came back, as far as,
I think what AJ will do is he'll rub it in Cena's face that he's been around the world, won more championships than he ever will.
Oh, yeah.
And, there's nothing he can do about it.
Did you notice Cena said the Bullet Club?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
I'm sure everybody freaked out. Yeah.
Pay their fines.
Even
that's it.
AJ was like. But It was great.
I don't think it'll get to that personal level. I mean, I think it will get personal, but not to that level because they have mutual respect for each other.
Yeah.
And with The Rock and Cena hated that The Rock was going off doing his movies and coming in and getting the spotlight. So there was a genuine dislike there from the beginning. So, I mean, I think that they'll probably, like Brandon was saying, get to close to it, but nothing like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if Cena will ever get to that level that The Rock has gotten to with, doing all the movies.
No.
Now, as far as starring in the movies, I don't know about, but he's done what 2 or 3 cameos, and they've been really funny.
Yeah, he's definitely getting out there, but I don't think anybody. I don't even know if an actor in Hollywood will be as big as The Rock is right now.
Anyways, that unicorn match is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait for that.
That will be awesome.
All right, what we got next? Let's talk
What
about
about Teddy Long?
Teddy
We
Long.
talk about Teddy Long coming out.
Yeah.
I just thought it was It was cool, but then I was like,
I just wonder where reality and fiction blurs on that.
yeah.
Did he really not know what the... Because, see, I wasn't really into it back then when Teddy Long was running
I wasn't either.
SmackDown.
No.
So I really don't know a lot about it, but, like, was he blurring, fiction with reality, not knowing what he was calling it, a triple threat, 6-man horn dog match or whatever they call it, whatever he called it, It was crazy.
He kind of went off on a tangent there for a minute.
Yeah.
I think he's out of practice. Now, but my question is he from Oklahoma City? No, Kansas City. That's where they were last night.
I don't know about that.
Because that would make sense, that he just wanted to hang out there. Like, why don't you come out and say some stuff? And surely that's not actual part of a story.
Hasn't he came out before? Not too long ago.
Yeah, he was
few
like
months
at
ago.
that. I forget what it was.
Coach came out.
Yeah, but
months ago.
he did it too about a year or so
I
ago.
don't remember Teddy Long.
Yeah, it was brief, but it was like backstage, I think. But they bring in people all the time to do different stuff. I don't think it's the right choice anyway if they were to do the SmackDown. And
Do you think that Stephanie was serious about her running SmackDown?
no,
You don't think that that's actually
I
her
think-
leading up to that?
I think Shane will be the one.
I think it's just a work. Yeah.
I think Shane will be the one doing it.
Throw everybody off.
I'm actually hoping it's Shane because, like I said last week, I want SmackDown to be the better show. I want SmackDown to do better just to make Vince work a little bit harder.
I'm going to call it right now, and I'm probably going to be right again. Heyman's coming back to run SmackDown or Raw. I don't know, but
Man.
I think he's too good to not, run at least one of them or be like one of the head writers or something like that. Something to do with it instead of just dealing with the talent. So hopefully that'll happen.
I love Paul Heyman.
I know.
Love him.
So segue into Stephanie stealing the idea for the Fatal 4-Way. What do you guys think about that? For the tag team titles.
I think
I think it'll be
that.
good. I think there's going to be there's a
it's
lot
gonna
of
be
talent
good.
there.
Mhm.
It's going to be energetic. It's not going to be boring. As much as I hate to say that, the New Day will make it a lot better. Unfortunately,
I think they'll retain too.
Who's the 4
Really?
teams again? It's the Club, New Day, Vaudevillains, and is it End Zone Cast? End Zone Cast.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have any old people in there either. Any old guys.
Mhm.
So it should be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't know.
So here's my question. You got the brand split coming up in what? A little over 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do with those tag titles? Do you take them off New Day now, or you have them keep them? That might be a reason of why you keep them together. That's just everything's up in the air right now, which is cool. Which is nobody knows what's going to happen. But at the same
I don't
time,
like that feeling.
I know, but it's scaring
I hate
me
it.
too. It's scaring me too.
Yeah, it really does. Just the thought of particular people only being on one show is, I don't know, it just don't seem right.
Yeah.
Seems limited.
I'm thinking I think it'll probably blow over. Like if it doesn't do very well, which I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping that, like, I have mixed feelings because I want to see SmackDown do so good like it did back in the day. But at the same time, I'm hoping it doesn't, so we can go back to getting what, just make SmackDown live on Tuesday nights. Just give us another night. Or do it live on Thursday nights, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why they don't do it on Thursday nights is that's one of their day off. I think they're off Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Because they do house shows on the weekend.
Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, I'd be fine with the 2 shows right in a row, Monday and Tuesday, live. That way, if pay-per-views came on, you could boom, boom, boom. You get 3 days of wrestling right in a row.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
That is killer.
And then hopefully it won't be the end for NXT. You could have
Speaking
Wednesday
of
night
Hey, isn't
NXT.
that tonight?
Tomorrow. Speaking of that, they did put the event back
But watch
up.
our show first.
Oh.
They did put the event back up for Brooklyn. So now I'm really confused of what they're going to do with the brand split and all that
They're
stuff.
everywhere right now. Everything's everywhere. What if it's the end for, Balor and Samoa Joe?
I think so.
And that's the whole
I
theme
think
of
that's
it.
probably what it is.
Yeah.
I think that both of them are probably coming up. I think it might be a couple of different months, apart, but Samoa Joe's got the veteran, skills. He's awesome. And then Finn Balor, I mean, as soon as he comes up, I mean, he's going to be main event status, just like that. So, I don't know. I'm with you guys. I'm so confused right now what they're going to do. I'm just like, what the... I mean, it's interesting, makes me want to tune in, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I'm afraid to tune in, get my hopes up about storylines going on right now, and then I know in a month from now they're going to be completely separate. So, I mean, I guess they're winding everything down. That's why, they got everything else going on with why they've not brought in Sasha or all this other stuff against Charlotte. So, I mean, it's confusing.
Good segue.
Isn't she still injured?
Sasha, I don't know.
I don't think
I
so.
really don't know. Well, all the divas, man. It's like the whole divas division is just fell off face of earth.
They're all soft.
Unless it's, they're all soft.
That's exactly what it is.
Charlotte or Natalia, or what's the new girl's name? I went blank.
Dana Brooke,
Yeah.
Becky Lynch.
And Becky Lynch. That's
Well,
the
it's
only
always-
four.
Which they're
it's always
fighting
like
on
the-
SmackDown.
Paige got to come back and wrestle one Raw and lose.
They
and
always have to
that's-
have just 4 women or whatever.
And the
Yes,
storyline,
yeah.
which there again, they only get 1 match per episode.
Yeah.
And to me, if you've got this whole Divas Revolution, well, they're not Divas, Women's Revolution, then you gotta have them on more than once.
Mm-hmm.
We could cut something out to give them 2 matches.
Cut out Goldust and
Yeah.
Truth and Gay Dongo or whatever their name is, You can edit that out. Gold Dongo or whatever their names are. Gold Breeze or something.
He was shaving the
That's
man's
kinda messed
back.
up, yeah. I mean, it's kind of
I
humorous.
know they're bros and everything, but come on.
That's messed
Awful.
up.
Yeah, I mean, like, cut stuff. Like, we were talking about, last week about it being an advantage for Titus O'Neil, the U.S. Championship. But at the same time, I'm just like, huh? Like, you're wanting to bring prestige to it. It's not that I don't think Titus is a big dude and could tear somebody up, but, like, his character and stuff like that,
Yeah.
there's no prestige behind that. So, like, cut something out like that. And
Cut out
not Rusev, but just cut something out that's stupid, that's a waste of time.
Cut out that 2-minute promo.
And give us
with,
another women's match.
Darren Young.
I
Was that on last night? I didn't
Yes.
catch it.
Yeah.
I fast forwarded.
it was horrible. I think it was a rerun for
Was it
SmackDown,
even
wasn't
worse?
it?
Yeah. It's not, I was half paying attention. I was looking at my phone and I heard "Make Darren Young Great Again."
It
I
was
like,
awful, and they are all awful.
I don't get
So-
that. Whatever you're doing there, Vince, I mean... Oh, I saw a meme the other day, and it was spot on. It was what's their name? The something stars now?
Epico and Primo or whatever.
Yeah,
Shining Stars.
the Shining
Yeah.
Stars. Los Matadores.
I thought. Didn't you say that you thought that they had just done away with them?
I
Or
just
somebody
said Vince
did?
had said something about that he wasn't impressed by their.
Well, it
Yeah.
was.
What do you think?
It showed them, like when they first came, they didn't have the masks, and then it said failed, and it had Vince saying try again, and it's them as Los Matadores, and it said failed, and then it said, and now it's the Shining Star, And over here it said, I had Damien Sandow, over, work. And then down here is Mizdow, over, work, gone. And I'm like,
It's true.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Makes no sense.
No sense.
I think, it's Vince is so out of touch with stuff, as far as what people really want, versus so I think that's funny. Put it on the show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
And
I think he knows some of that stuff sucks, and he's just like, I'm gonna make them watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Which he's always done. That's kind of his deal.
yeah, that's true. I mean, before the Attitude Era,
But that
he had
Shining-
garbage men and crap like that.
That Shining Star promo, I mean, really? Very, 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 very good.
If I didn't know it was wrestling, I would think they were trying to buy an infomercial for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I just don't get
So
it.
since all that stuff has been going on, they've only wrestled one match. Am I
Mm.
correct? Against a couple of
Some
low-level
freaking
NXT
freaks.
guys.
Yeah.
Maybe on SmackDown.
Well, the
I
thing
don't
was,
think I've seen
those
them
NXT guys, they had.
No, they weren't even NXT.
Yeah, they were.
No, they
Were
are.
they?
Yeah.
They had and
They had different
NXT,
names.
and then when they came to Raw, they had a different name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Had their NXT names on their trunks, but their names, yeah. Like
It's
nobody
coming up
knows.
some duct tape or whatever.
Yeah.
It works.
So, speaking of Titus O'Neil, I don't get the whole Rusev thing. Are they just throwing people at Rusev now? Because you really can't understand a word Titus O'Neil says. So,
Well, he did go to
I mean,
Florida.
oh yeah!
Oh man, I could.
Oh man, we could spend the next 20
Well,
minutes on that.
in all seriousness,
Anyways.
though, you're a Florida fan, though, but this does that have anything to do with Florida?
No, it's
The
just
Gators?
stupid.
Just stupid? Okay.
Yep.
I don't know.
So I
what
wasn't
that
sure
is.
that had anything to do with Gators or not.
I thought it was a seal that washed up on the shore and couldn't get back out or something. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know. I just don't think he's United
They're
States
probably pushing
Championship
him
material.
because they.
I think it's just them making up for
I was gonna
suspending,
say, yeah.
Going
Yeah.
overboard.
which they did.
Yeah.
So then they send you and your family with him to Disney World if you win his sweepstakes.
All right, I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
I've always wanted to go to Disney World with Titus O'Neil. I mean, that's been a dream of mine forever.
No offense to Titus, because we love you.
Yeah, well, you are awesome, Titus.
But if I were there at the Universal and they're like, "Oh, WWE Superstar is gonna be coming," I'd be thinking like John Cena,
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And I see Titus O'Neil walk around the corner, I'd be like, "What?" Like,
And
I'd
you
be
wouldn't be
so
able to. You
disappointed.
would not be able to hold back the disappointment, or not show it on your face.
But then you'd probably end up loving the dude by the end of the day.
Oh,
but,
yeah, sure.
But you'd just be like,
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, his character is not that great. I mean, he's not.
I
He's not great. I don't really think he's a great wrestler either.
No,
I
he's
mean,
not.
he's got.
He's stiff.
He's powerful, and that's it.
Yeah, and he doesn't
So-
utilize it. But
Get
anyway,
somebody else.
He's a big guy, and I respect Titus, but I feel like this is just them making up for it. I really do.
"Yeah, I agree."
There's not much to it, really. And honestly, I think Rusev will beat him. They probably won't even
Oh,
get him
yeah.
out of the title.
Yeah, I'm waiting on Cena to get it back. Because at least he defends it every week.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Dana Brooke is fighting Becky Lynch on SmackDown this week.
Ooh.
Which is, I don't know. I think Becky, or not Becky Lynch, but what's her name? Dana Brooke. Yeah, I think she's a great wrestler.
She's awesome.
Her
She's
finisher
powerful.
is top notch.
Yeah.
I'm afraid she's going to kill somebody with it because sometimes she doesn't hit it perfect, but
I've never seen her on the mic, so I don't know
that's a
about that.
legit move.
She's your typical she's like Nikki Bella kind of.
Okay.
Anybody
is better than Charlotte, though,
This is true.
in my opinion.
This
It's
is
horrible.
What do you mean?
true. I feel like Charlotte ruins any form of storyline they try to give her. Now, she comes out, she tries to do this big turn, create this big stir, making Rick look stupid, which failed miserably. And then now she's apologizing and saying, "Oh, I want you to be my daddy. I just don't want you around here." And then,
Yeah.
what
But she's
are-
doing the same thing with Dana Brooke, though. She's helping her out with matches and crap, and defending
Using
her.
yeah.
It's might as well.
It's building up. We called this weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah,
And Dana Brooke should win that title.
which I thought she was going to
I
turn on her.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, like, not saying that she doesn't deserve the title, but like, there's other girls like Becky and
Well,
Sasha
yeah.
and
Becky and Sasha.
Paige, which Paige has had it a couple of times, but girls that deserve it.
That's typically
God,
what they
even
do
Natty
now.
deserves it.
Yeah, Natty does.
Yeah.
Has Natty ever had it?
I think so.
Surely.
I think so.
I just
Too bad we ain't got our fact checker here this week,
I know.
but I'm pretty sure that she's had it once. But like, I don't know. I mean, they did this whole Divas Women's Revolution thing back around SummerSlam last year. Now here we are a year later. It's going back to the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. It's almost. This is what gets me. Okay, women's wrestling it's been labeled as degrading for a while. So they're like, calling them divas. They don't want to be called divas. So we give you what you want in this women's championship, but we do it in the most demeaning way we could and give it to Charlotte, who immediately starts gropping at the crowd and ruins the moment and everything. And it's like, I mean, why would you do it that way?
That goes back to the whole thing that you and I were talking about before, and I don't know if it's true, but the rumors were going around at WrestleMania that time is they knew that Roman was going to win the championship. And I'm not saying that this is the truth, but this is what I heard, that their thought process to take heat off of Roman was to let Charlotte win, because people would be so upset about that. First of all, that's stupid, because nobody likes Roman Reigns except for your little kids and your mamas. Second of all, that's a completely different division. Nobody's going to be that upset. I was upset. I thought it was stupid. I thought that they were going to give it to Becky.
Opportunity to let either Becky or Sasha.
Yeah,
which
and
would have
then-
made everybody happy.
And but I was upset about it. But I wasn't just like sitting there like.
Well, let's not forget too. I think the original plan was ruined when they decided to do this stupid timed match with Charlotte.
I remember that.
And y'all remember that on Raw?
They muffed it up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Like 3 seconds
Paige
left.
messed it up. But I mean, my God, you're supposed to have a match that ends exactly on the same second as. If you do that, how about not putting a giant timer up on the Titantron so everybody can count it down?
Yeah.
Oh, looky there! It was the same amount of time,
I think going back, talking about WrestleMania in general, like, I'm still upset about it. Like, I'm still upset about several things that they didn't do and didn't execute well.
Oh.
First of all, I know Brie Bella is not the greatest wrestler of all time. Now, she improved tremendously towards the end, because I think she knew that she needed to step up her game because all these new girls are coming in. But that's her last match. You're going to give her a pre-show thing? I mean, come on. Like, you could have made the match 10 minutes long, 5 minutes long, and given her a regular match.
Oh, and even said, hey, this is her last match. They didn't even say that.
Yeah, and that to me makes me wonder about stuff politically behind the scenes with Daniel Bryan and everything. Did he willingly really quit, or was it part of look, if you quit, I'll give you a severance, take care of the rest of your life, and you don't go wrestle anywhere else? I mean, money's money. If somebody offers you $50 million, I don't care. I would never talk about wrestling the rest of my life.
What that even makes, though. Daniel Bryan was money, merchandise. Everybody loved Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And I just don't get why you would want to get rid of that if it didn't just have to be,
Because
No.
he's old. Vince is old and senile.
Now Seth
Love you, Vince, but you're old and senile. And he's wanting to prove the point that Roman Reigns is the face of this company. And I really do think Daniel Bryan even talked about it for real, that this whole him being the goat face, bearded guy, that they didn't see him as somebody that could carry the company. But if you were to insert Stone Cold Steve Austin into nowadays thing, a bald dude from, Texas, big old redneck, they'd probably treat him the same because of their corporate way of thinking, because back then it was like, well, he saw potential in this guy. And most of it was because he went out and did it himself. He said, screw y'all, I'm going out here and doing this. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like now that no matter if Vince doesn't like you, he doesn't like the idea of it, then you're not going to get, you may be over 10 times over, but if he doesn't like it, then, you know, like Bray Wyatt, people love Bray Wyatt. There's no reason why that man shouldn't have had the championship by now.
Mm-mm.
And that's what blows my mind. It's like, Vince, your best, biggest star in history was not your idea. You know, you wanted to keep that from happening, and you have made millions and millions of dollars because Stone Cold went out there and did what he wanted to do. You know, he took it upon himself to make it happen, and look how that turned out. You know, here we are, almost close to 20 years later, and Stone Cold still is, you know,
Pretty much in the building
yeah,
every Monday. Every Monday.
I mean, you can't. You're still getting watch chance 20 years later.
Yeah.
You know, and that to me, you would think Vince at some point would be like, okay, maybe I don't know
But
everything.
he don't take risks anymore, you know.
No.
I mean, like I was listening to a podcast with Rey Mysterio. You know, when he came to the WWE, everybody was telling, "Hey man, you're too small. You're too small." You know, they like big guys, and then they took a chance on him, and then look what happened. You know, he blew up.
They were a private company back then too, so
Yeah, they did. They were, yeah.
I'm sure that has a lot to do with it.
I don't know if necessarily Vince got in any trouble financially to reach out to all these investors, but maybe he, you know, saw those dollar signs like, all right, you know, let's turn to PG and, you know, do what these people want. Which, yeah, it's bringing in, you know, what they, I guess, call the new people, the new era of kids and stuff, but it's pissing everybody else off that's been watching it for years, you know. That's been, you know, investing their time in it. You know, it's like that, we saw that meme the other day, says, you know you're a wrestling fan when you can 99.9% of the time predict what's going to happen, you know. I mean, and my whole point behind that is that, you know, like that podcast that they did with Hunter, you know, he's like, well, he said, you know, some people don't like our ideas and they do like our ideas, and Stone Cold's like, well, couldn't you book it better? You know, and it's just like, the whole thing last year, the Royal Rumble with Kane and Big Show ending the Royal Rumble and Roman winning. I mean, it was so predictable. And that's what made people even more mad. It's not the fact, I want to love Roman Reigns. I really do. And when he won the championship, when he finally, you know, Superman punched Vince McMahon, I saw, you know, woo! I saw myself going, all right, you know. Like, it was something different, you know, but like, my whole point behind that is that something's got to give as far as the creative goes. There's too many people back in the back. There's too many investors saying, oh, you know, got this going on, and, you know, like the curb stomp being gone and different stuff like that.
Did you read that, what Seth Rollins said about the curb stomp?
Yeah.
You know, Vince never even really noticed it until he won the championship. And then Vince started noticing and said that he didn't like it.
Said something about he had to send a video package into NBC because he's supposed to be on the show the next morning. He's like, oh, that don't look very good. And made him change it, and he said he fought for it. And he said
that was his move.
Yeah, and he said he tried a bunch of different other stuff. It wasn't working, and then Seth said he came up with the idea to do the pedigree.
Yeah.
But, you know, here's my thing, you know, and comment below if you disagree with us. Because my thing is like, why is the curb stomp any less or any more dangerous than a pedigree? Any more dangerous than Alberto Del Rio doing his double stomp on your chest that could cause your heart to explode? Or, you know, jumping off of a freaking cage.
Which I thought Sami Zayn was knocked out on Monday when he did that to him.
Yeah.
I thought he was done.
I mean, like, what? That's my point, is like, that's where corporate Vince comes in, and not sports entertainment Vince, you know. Oh, that don't look very good. It's a wrestling show, for God's sake.
They're fake beating each other up.
Yeah.
And like Seth was saying in that article, it was actually, I think it was on Jericho's podcast that he was talking about it, but he said that move was so easy to sell. Like, it was easy. You know, I mean, you just set yourself, I could sell it right here. I mean, it might look funny, but, you know. But, you know, my point behind that is that
Brock Lesnar would sell that junk.
he
like
sold it
nobody's
the best.
business.
Yeah.
Oh, the best. Speaking of Brock Lesnar,
Uh-oh.
Nice.
the man, my favorite wrestler. UFC 200 coming up.
Here we
What
go.
are you guys thinking about that?
Facing Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt, yeah.
I think
Samoan.
it's
I don't
Awesome.
know. Depends on if this has been in the works for a while. It's only 4 weeks away. So
Is it 4 weeks?
That is very short time.
this
Even
has
6
been
weeks away is a
worse.
very short.
Yeah, UFC stuff, though. You know this crap months in advance.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But
the
you
guy that
notice
wrote
he
the
was
story.
a little lean. He was a little bit more lean
yeah.
at WrestleMania now
Yeah.
that I think about it.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's great because I know you could tell around WrestleMania Brock was getting tired, and he wanted. Yeah, he's a competitor. Wrestling's cool, pays his bills.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have signed another contract then.
Well,
He had a lot of time to think about
got
it.
money, man.
He had the chance to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah, but when someone's saying, "Dude, how about you not work as hard, and I'll give you 3 times as much money," what are you gonna do?
Well, obviously, I'm going to do that. But, I mean, people can't gripe, or he can't gripe about, everybody's like, oh, well, he shouldn't be fighting UFC and blah, blah, be under contract. He had the opportunity to do what he wanted to do. So he chose WWE. Now stay in WWE.
Well, let me ask y'all this though. I'm throwing a bold prediction out there. Bold. I think that the WWE and UFC are eventually going to have ties together.
That is bold.
Because look at all this. Look at how wrestlers are.
I don't see it happening.
Dana
Crossing.
White can't stand
Look
Vince
how
McMahon.
UFC. Yeah, but business is business, man. And there's been all these allegations the past few months that UFC's trying to sell out. They're trying to sell the company. They're going public. They're going to sell it public.
But you know what, though? I think if that did happen, then Vince would stay away from it. Because of the sheer fact of the whole XFL thing. He's made investments like that before. I mean, it could work out really good for him.
Vince
But
is going to invest a ton of money or anything, but I really think that there's a good possibility that there could be a mingle there. Because
I don't see it happening.
Because UFC and WWE, they actually, WWE, I don't watch enough UFC to know, but, they'll talk about UFC when they talk about Brock Lesnar, how he's the UFC champion, and this, that, and Ken Shamrock. Look, Ken Shamrock came from UFC.
Somebody was saying this whole Brock thing going to UFC is maybe like a way to get Ronda Rousey for WrestleMania
Yeah, I've heard
next
that.
year. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's possible.
I feel like, and there was the UFC, one of the women, they think that I read a thing that said she could possibly be at SummerSlam.
Which I don't know if that's who at SummerSlam?
Some UFC fighter.
Paige Van Zandt.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
yeah, I read that. I don't see that happening either. I don't see Rousey at WrestleMania either, because apparently what happened was, which I could be wrong, Lesnar, it was actually his idea to call Dana and like, hey, can I come, fight? Because you guys, the whole CM Punk was wasn't he supposed to fight UFC
Oh, I
200?
don't know. I don't keep up with
I'd
that.
heard that at one time that he was.
I heard that they're not really too keen on him. It's like his work ethic's not very.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a shock.
But anyways, it was Lesnar's idea to talk to Dana White about it, and he's like, okay, you got to get it clear from Vince, and Vince immediately said, yeah, okay. I don't know why.
Is it a one-time deal, though?
I think so.
That's what I thought I'd heard.
Apparently, they had an arm wrestling match, and Vince said, if you can beat me, then you can go. And of course, Brock said to destroy him. But I think he was just happy to do it for him. I don't know why, but.
I think it's probably the same with acting,
And the amount of money that Lesnar is making off this fight is undisclosed, so nobody knows. Yeah,
Well,
a
and
ton
it's gonna,
of money.
Think about this.
Because it's UFC 200.
Exactly, and that's exactly why they wanted that money.
Yeah.
So, and with pay-per-view, like it used to be back in the day, fighters get paid by how many people buy that pay-per-view. So, think about how much money.
I think nowadays is they get a flat fight fee, and then they get a percentage of the gross pay-per-view,
Yeah.
and then of course all
So,
the crap they sell.
Talking some.
So yeah, it's good.
I do not watch UFC on a regular basis. I used to watch it monthly, 5-7 years ago, however long. But I really want to watch 200 now because Brock Lesnar is going to be there. What about Paul Heyman? Anybody think he'll show up with him?
No.
No?
It's not gonna
Nobody?
happen. No.
I don't
No,
know,
'cause
man.
they won't want to blow.
Bold prediction, Paul Heyman's at UFC 200. Bold prediction.
not
It's
gonna
gonna come out
happen.
in this Brock Lesnar entrance music.
I think it's.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome, dude. I would love that.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they're letting Brock do it, but it also worries me for the product of WWE because
Plus, he's supposed to come back at SummerSlam.
yeah, it makes me think like, okay, like if he does end up losing this UFC fight, which I don't think he will. but
Before
it's-
that, though, he has to get cleared to fight
Right.
too.
yeah.
So who knows if he's healthy enough or whatever.
And my thing is if he comes back and he loses or whatever, like, what's that going to do for his passion? Which I mean, he's passionate about money. He's already said that. He's not passionate about the business.
He's not there for
But
that.
the thing is that he may not be, because I think like the rumor going around is him and Wyatt, and I think that he should do the favor for Wyatt and put Wyatt over.
Mm-hmm.
But if he loses, he might be like, screw that. I'm not putting him over. Like, I'm not coming back into... Even though wrestling is planned and everything like that. There's a difference between being fake and planned, people. I think that maybe he could, change his mind about something like that. And be like, shoot, I'm not having people see me lose twice in a row.
I don't
think
think
he really
Lesnar cares.
No, he don't care.
As long as he's getting that dollar, he don't care.
He don't
I think he does to an extent, though.
even know where
I
his
think he
belts
does to an
are, so
extent.
that should tell you something.
But again,
He says he doesn't, but every man cares just a
Right.
little bit.
like he said on that Stone Cold podcast, for one, he can't remember any WrestleMania, what number it was he was at. But two, he asked him what his plans were. He said, what do you think you'll... I don't know how he put it, but basically, do you think you'll still be around after your contract's up? And Brock was like,
He asked him, he said, do you know when you'll be done? He goes, yep, I do know when I'll be done.
So,
So,
Brock knows what's next. And I don't think he'll be in WWE forever. Or very much longer, honestly, because I don't think he likes it. I think he loves getting that check
Maybe
and
if
showing
I
up
just
once
don't-
every
maybe
3-4
it
months.
changes,
as much as I love Lesnar, I just don't see how you don't like it. You're getting paid all this money to go in there and be
Because he's
freaking dominant.
He's
Yeah.
a competitor.
Yeah,
He's
that's
got
true.
That
But then
He should have signed a contract with freaking UFC then.
well, sometimes you just gotta make mistakes.
Well,
if that's
then,
the case-
then deal with this mistake, and then after the contract's up,
If you're a
Go
competitor,
fight.
Brock could say anything he wants to. He could drop F-bombs
Oh,
on Monday
yeah.
Night Raw and nobody'd say nothing to him. So if I were Brock, I'd be like, okay, y'all need to quit this, make me so dominant. I want some good matches. I want some competitive matches, Which he does put on good matches, but most of the time, if he's going to fight a mid-carder, it's over in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's over. I mean, these
Literally
little specials that they've done.
3-4 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And even the house shows, I've seen some videos that people snuck out of the house shows and stuff like that.
he
And
still looks like after that 2-minute fight, he looks like the same after a half-hour fight.
yeah. Yeah, I remember the SummerSlam what he did with Cena. I had some friends over and they were freaking out. They thought he was going to die because his face was turning so red.
Brock,
Look, I'm really worried about him. I was
Brock
like,
Lobster.
He's But I mean, I think.
But freaking Rollins, Reigns, and Lesnar, probably one of the best matches ever, in my book. It was a great match.
Wait, when did they?
You don't remember that? When Rollins jumped off the turnbuckle and elbowed him, broke his rib.
Was that Roman? I thought that was Cena.
Yeah. Was it Cena? Oh
I'm
God.
pretty sure it was Cena. I'm pretty sure it was Cena.
You getting really
Because yes, it was Cena. Because Brock was the champion. Him and Cena were in there. Because I remember it just like it was yesterday. Because the stupid network had the Ring of Death. Cena gave him an AA 1, 2, and then it gave me a Ring of Death. And then I turn it back on, and Brock Lesnar's raising his hand up. So yeah, it was the same match.
Okay.
I think you're thinking about the Reigns, Ambrose, and somebody else
Oh,
match.
I don't remember who that was. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. Whatever.
what about they aren't apparently going to do a 7th man in the Money in the Bank ladder match this year?
I think that's stupid. I think it could.
I do too.
I think it could have been an opportunity to bring one of the guys back, whether it's Neville, Orton, or Wyatt.
Yep.
Been a good excuse because right now looking at it, I'm like, where are they going to fit into it? So I'm starting to think that they're just going to leave Orton off of it until the brand split.
Which I don't think they should.
I don't think so either.
I think they should work in a storyline to where he wants to go. They won't let him go there, and he just starts flying off the deep end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that should be happening with a couple of different superstars, but that would make too much sense.
Question. Go down the line real quick.
Let's do it.
Joey, how much longer does Randy Orton have with the WWE?
Oh gosh, couple years maybe.
4 years.
I'm gonna say 10.
10?
No, you're talking about full time or part time?
Wrestling, full time.
I have to agree with Brandon on. Full time?
Full time.
Oh, I'll stick with 4.
Full time, I'd say 4 or 5, maybe 6. But as far as being with the company and doing, still doing promos and maybe wrestle, a Monday Night Raw or something like that. Yeah, let's say 10 years.
I agree with him.
I think he'll be gone in less than 2.
You're crazy. There's no way.
I really do. I
You
have
think
a
it's
feeling.
him?
No, I don't think it's him. I think it's going to be a Vince outing somebody, and
No.
they don't have room for him.
No,
I don't see that happening.
I mean, you think about
When's the last time they've really utilized Randy Orton?
I mean, it's been a couple of years, but that's been a problem because of his injuries.
Mm-hmm.
He's had 2
But
in the last.
think about what he was in. Evolution. That was, to me, the last time he was utilized properly.
That was also
Well,
2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was before he
Batista
had
screwed
injury.
that up.
Yeah, Blue Tista.
What an idiot.
But I just don't feel like he fits in anywhere, really.
I think he's a dominant kind of guy, and he just goes in there and.
He's going to be the one that comes in and kicks the crap out of all these new era guys.
That would be cool.
He's going to be the one to do it.
I could see him and like somebody like Rollins getting together, or.
They did that.
I don't know. Well, I could see him do it again. Maybe Triple H getting back with him. I don't know if they'll do another Evolution, which
No.
I don't
Which we
think they
know
should've done
Triple H
last time.
is going to be wrestling soon, but we don't know how or why. We know he's still under contract for wrestling and that he's been busting his butt in the gym, but
So he has a talent contract,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
we don't know why.
Maybe he's the 7th man and Money in the Bank.
Man, that's bold.
And then him and Rollins are going to get into it.
God, I want to see that.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
That would be a
awesome.
match.
I think that's going to happen.
That would be a match.
Him and
not
Rollins.
him and Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I think they're going to set up for him and Rollins at WrestleMania. It's going to happen.
Which I think that was the plan originally this past year. Which would have been amazing, but
Yeah.
injuries happen, unfortunately. But I don't know. Like I think Orton's got a little bit of time. Triple H, I think he's probably got another. If I were going to say anybody's got 2 years left, as far as full time or well, he's not even full time now. He's only part time. I don't know though. He's in pretty good shape.
Yeah. He's in
Real quick, last
phenomenal shape.
question, because I think we're probably going on 50 minutes now. 45 minutes, who called it? Anyway, so last question. Anything we missed, really?
The Shield's going to be on Ambrose Asylum next week.
That.
We can wait till next week to talk.
I don't feel like it'll be a big deal.
No.
I think it'll be a promo for the fight, really.
I think Roman won't say a word, and he'll get all sorts of praise from Vince about it too, because he's the one that carried the whole promo or whatever. So, and that's about it.
All right, so that brings me to this question. Joey, Seth Rollins going to beat Roman Reigns?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm gonna say no.
It's
Unfortunately.
unanimous.
Unfortunately.
This is how well we know you, Vince. And that's what the 99.9% of the time. We know you're not going to let Roman just lose to Seth Rollins like that.
Yeah.
For one, I mean, that kind of defeats his whole dominant last 5 months. You know, Seth Rollins comes back and just whips his tail, and it'll be like, you know, we knew you wasn't that good all along.
I don't think it's going to be a clean victory, though.
I like that. I like that.
I'll say that.
Hey, there's always hope. There's always hope.
Could start the feud between whoever, Seth Rollins and SummerSlam, if the Triple H thing or whatever happened. Or what if the Money in the Bank person cashes in right then?
It'll be interesting.
Whoa!
I don't think that's ever.
It's
You
still-
know they're going to give it all they got, Rollins and Reigns. That's going to be a
Oh,
decent match. And Reigns does look good when he wrestles a good wrestler like AJ Styles,
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins. So that's it. 40, 50 minutes of rambling again. Thank you for tuning in this week. Be sure to like our video if you like our video. If you don't like our video, you can be nice and still like our video. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and subscribe. And we will see you guys next week.